Okay, good afternoon, everyone. If I can have your attention for just 1 minute, you guys are invited to understanding what's the right path, what's the right practice you need to follow when submitting your research. You guys might also be wondering, I'm an engineering student, why do I have to do this? Over the weekend, we had a great caliber of academics who had joined us, who came from different backgrounds, including engineering and many others, for the international conference on integrated disciplines for sustainable development. You guys could be the next academics or the experts within your industry, and to make it happen, you need to know the right format of research, where to publish, where to present. And to make it happen, we have with us Ms. Renisha Winston. Allow me the next 1 minute to quickly introduce Ms. Renisha to you all. Ms. Renisha owns iManager Publications, which is one of India's largest scientific research publishers. And from a bootstrap, she has been able to take the company to one of the most respectable research publishers in India. iManager Publications publishes 38 academic journals in scientific, technology, education, and management areas in print and online forms. The journals have high reputation in India and internationally among the scientific community. She primarily interacts with the editors-in-chief of journals, editorial board members, and technical editors, mainly being a subscription-only publisher with a no publishing fee policy. iManager's journals are widely read in India's subcontinent and are also available online for worldwide through eBSEO and ProQuest database, and also in rental platform Deep Dive. She graduated from the Tamil Nadu Agricultural University and has worked with the large organizations in the field of content development before setting up her own business, and is now one of the respected women entrepreneurs in South Tamil Nadu. She was the recipient of Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu's award for MSME, Best Entrepreneur District Level in 2017-2018. She was nominated for the Young Creative Entrepreneur Publishing Award 2010 YCE Awards by British Council and was adjudged one of the 6 finalists. She has also received the Best Entrepreneur Award for her year 2013 by Indian Overseas Bank. Her vision is to work towards ethical academic publishing and contribute to humanity in resonance with the Sustainable Development Goals. She aims to create free academic database that would allow researchers to access the science that contributes to the achievement of these goals. It is indeed an honor to have you, Ms. Renisha, with us. It is truly a pleasure to have someone of your caliber with us. Students, I hope you'll put your hands together and extend a warm welcome to Ms. Renisha. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the introduction.
So good afternoon to you all. And it's a pleasure to be among you here today at Curtin University Dubai and to present this lecture on selecting the right journal for publishing your research. So I believe that you're all undergraduate students who are in science and technology or engineering. So I hope you will be moving forward to your post-graduation studies and also PhD in the future. So definitely this lecture would guide you or give pointers to you on how to go forward in your research journey. So the topic for today's lecture is selecting the right journal for publishing your research. So before moving into the thing, we have to talk about understanding research and what is the importance of research in our day-to-day life. The purpose of research is to inform action through results of any research and gather evidence for the theories through the literature review and contribute to developing knowledge in the field of study. It could be any field of study, but the results of the research findings are to be communicated to the audience so that your research pave a way also for future research. And the research findings are published in journals so that it could reach a wider audience. It's for the dissemination of research that we have journals. So, but with the increase in journals over the recent past, and there are many new models of publishing, such as open access, researchers are at a crossroad for selecting the right journals for publishing the research. So, which is why that brings us for today's lecture. So I'll just give you a brief of the number of journals worldwide. The current number of journals as per leading indexing sites Web of Science or Clarivate Analytics indexes over 34,000 journals. In Scopus indexes over 42,000 journals from 10,000 publishers across the world, and out of which 35,000 are peer-reviewed. Then we have the Directory of Open Access Journals, which indexes around 18,650 journals, but the Directory of Open Access Journals indexes only open access journals. So I've also tried to split it up based on the major publishers. So these are the top 5 publishers: Springer, Taylor and Francis, Elsevier, Wiley, and Sage. And the number of journals published by these top 5 publishers put together is alone 12,248 journals, with Springer having 3,763, Taylor and Francis having 2,912, Elsevier 2,674, Wiley 1,691, and Sage 1,208. So like I have taken this from a source, who are the 100 largest research publishers by journal count, a web scraping approach, and I have given the citations here. So it is estimated there could be more than 50,000 academic journals and around 25 to 35,000 are peer-reviewed. But there are more than 1 lakh estimated journals, which is a huge number of journals with all disciplines put together. So with this many journals available for publishing, so how do you select the right journal for publishing a research? The journals include both traditional print and online journals and also open access journals. So SCI and SCII, that is Science Citation Index and Science Citation Index Expanded. So all journals of SCI is a subset of Science Citation Index Expanded. So they have 4 citations, citation databases. It is Science Citation Index Expanded, Social Sciences Citation Index, Arts and Humanities Citation Index, and Emerging Sources Citation Index. Then we have Scopus or SCImago ranking. Scopus is not open, but SCImago ranking is open. Anybody can check it. And it has 4 categories of journals: Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. The top 25% come in the Q1 of journals. The next 25 to 50 comes in the Q2 journals. The 50 to 75 comes in the Q3, and 75 to 100 comes in the Q4 ranking. Then there is a software called Publish or Perish by Harsing, and she also has she's a researcher who is working in University of London, and she was affected a lot by predatory journals and like how journals were exploiting research, and she came with a solution, and she came with a Publish or Perish software program that retrieves and analyzes journals. You can check it in her website that she gives a list of good journals. Then we have Cabell's list. Cabell's list is based out of United States of America, and like they have a report called Journalytics. It is also subscription based, and they have a Journalytics report which gives a data of each journal, and they also have a predatory report of journals which are predatory. Then we have Ulrich Web Directories, which indexes only peer-reviewed journals, and Directory of Open Access Journals, which indexes only open access journals. So I have tried to give this databases, academic databases, for the benefit of you, so that like, because I went through the data of so many universities worldwide, including Curtin universities, and like, so in many of the Western and European universities, they give data like, how a researcher should be publishing or where they should be publishing. And these were the prominent ones that were repeated. So I have tried to give only the exact ones that are needed. So let's move on to the next slide. So when you select the right journal of publishing, that is also a publishing strategy that you need to have for yourself as an individual or a researcher. One is, what are your publishing goals? What is your topic? Who are your audience? And what is the type of publication that you intend to publish? So what are your goals? See, when you are a seasoned researcher like Dr. Chitray Ponselvan, like it could be like he has already worked, more than 20 years in his particular field of study. So he will target only, a Q1 journal to get his journal published. So like it is like for the purpose of getting citations, contributing to the research communities, academic promotions. There are multiple reasons how to impact on policy making and useful for industries, have an impact on society and economic growth, and contribute to sustainability and environment. So there could be different goals. If you are an early stage researcher, your thing is to be getting your paper published itself would be a major goal. So the topic should match your subject area. And you should also check the publication's website for the subject focus. And who are your audience? Are you looking at a local audience or international audience? Are you looking at a general public? Are you looking at a specified public? The type of publication, are you looking at a highly ranked journal? Are you looking at a subject specific journal? So these are all major categories. We'll look in detail about each of these areas in the coming slides. So first is shortlisting the journals for your research. So shortlisting the suitable journals to choose from come from two areas. One is like if you're searching for something, like we have Google, so we just go and type certain keywords and then the journals might come. But then that will give a very wide area of journals. The next thing is before you start your research, like you'll be going through a lot of research papers. Basically, a young researcher would like to start with review papers because like you will take a period of study and try to see what is already there, because that is the basic step. So like when you go through that, you will see some journals which are repeatedly being referenced in these journals. So when you're looking at these journals, you know, like you are also looking for similar journals. So you could make a list of such journals and also from Google. So, and then you can also check few free tools like the Master Journal List by Clarivate, and then the JANE, that is Journal or Author Name Estimator. You could use few tools to understand what could be your, a suggested list of journals for yourself. And then so we are going to the step 2, decide your specific publication goals. So first one is audience. Are you looking at a general audience or a more specialist multidisciplinary audience or a single discipline audience or a highly specialized audience in a subfield of a single discipline? Second, access type. Are you looking forward to publish in an open access or a subscription-based journal? The turnaround time. So that is like what is the average time that the journal would take for publishing your paper? So does the journal's website give the average time from the manuscript receipt to the first decision? That is first decision in the sense, we have a process called desk rejection. If your paper is not worthy, it will get rejected in the first step itself. So like they will send you an email or an receipt through your online submission system, and it moves through the plagiarism and similarity. It might get rejected at that stage too. Or if it is crossing these stages and entering the peer review, what will be the time till final publication, and then time to final decision and time to publication? So this is also an indicator you need to know if you are looking for a faster publication time period. Then the next thing you need to see is it a regular and continuous publication journal? You can check the journal's website for the periodicity, number of issues, and regular publications, etc. Third step, journal scope, type of review, legitimacy, and impact. So you need to check the journal's aims and scope, because like if you are a researcher who is working on a particular area of research, you should only publish in a journal that is suitable to your area of research. So there is no point for you to go and submit your research paper in a journal. It might be in Scopus, it might be in Web of Science. Just don't go for the benefit of a Scopus or Web of Science journals, even if the journal is irrelevant to your research, because that is not going to help you in the long run. So that is the first point, like I want to tell you. Second, what is the type of review the journal is following? Is it following a single blind review? Single blind review is the reviewers know the names of the authors, but the authors do not know the names of the reviewers. In double blind review, it is protected from both sides. It is blindfolded on either side. The authors do not know the name of the reviewers, and the reviewers do not know the name of the authors. And the third one is open review. It is all open. The names are exposed to both sides. Third one, the legitimacy. The legitimacy of a journal has to be checked on multiple factors. It is a separate slide I have kept with a checklist. Fourth one is reputation and impact of the journal. So how do you, of course, like journals with a high impact factor, which are in Web of Science or Scopus, also have a high rejection rate. If you see the Q1 journal, the acceptance rate is only 2%. So like then more chances are there, like only a researcher who belongs to the top 2% will be able to publish his research there. So then it is not for an early stage research or a mid-career researcher. So apart from journal factors, so you have to also check on other factors like H-index score in Google Scholar metrics. Is it good? Then see the social media impact, because social media is having a more prevalence on the young audience like you. Like you need to know whether the articles are shared on social media, is it having an impact? So like it is called altmetrics, and it is also assessed by a badge called dimensions badge. You can see the dimensions badge in most of the journals, and it will give you the altmetrics of how that particular article has been shared by people in different social media formats. So I have put 10 points, and these 10 points are very, very, very important points. So first one, if a journal is legitimate, they are very, very transparent about their policies. So how transparent are the journal's procedures and policies, including their publishing ethics and copyright? Because you had questions about copyright of your content. Second, editorial board. Does the editorial board have recognizable and reputed members list with their affiliations and their emails too, and linked to their university's affiliation? So is there diversity of membership, or the editorial board representing a worldwide academicians? So third one, online reviews. When you are searching for a journal, do you find negative comments about the journal among the research community? So for example, recently we had a huge furor over the omics journals from India, because like they even had to fight a court case with the federal courts of America. So like, is your journal not belonging to such category? You have to just go away from such problematic publishers. The fourth one, editorial quality. Does the journal publish manuscripts free from typographical, grammatical, and other obvious errors? Every journal will definitely have few sample papers or one sample issue. So you can just go through the papers to see the quality of research that is being published. Apart from the content belongs to the author. But like, what is the editorial quality the publisher is adding to it in terms of the design process? So even like if you want to get into Scopus or Web of Science, as a publisher, we have certain norms to comply. It is a very, very, very stringent norm. Like they see the design process, the editorial quality, lot of things are taken care into consideration. Then fifth one is indexing. Is the journal available in leading indexing databases? Is it verified? So just don't go by the claims. Always double check. If the journal is having this, you can check whether you can go to the particular, we have Google, and you can go to the particular indexing database and check if the journal is indexed there. And contact details, or there clear information about the editor's details and the reviewer's details on the website, so that you can contact the journal by telephone, email, or by any means in case of a communication or a clarification. Then what are the international associations that the journal or publication is associated with? Then what is the history of the journal? That is the number of years the journal is in the publishing field. That the publisher's reputation. Does a journal is published, is it a standalone? We have standalone journals, and then we have journals which are published by a group publisher. Standalone journals or individual journals, they are just on the website. Then there are a group of journals which are published under a single publisher. So like in such case, are the publisher's details found. Then finally, I'm coming to the publishing fee. So there are a lot of journals which also charge a publishing fee. So when journals charge a publishing fee, are they very open and clear about their APCs? That is the article publishing charges. On Saturday, I was talking to Ms. Ajita Nair, and we were discussing about this, this talk. And she was telling like how many mails come to us like regarding, like they initially tell no APC, and then like after they publish, they keep on calling as if it is their claim. That is, they have to get the money from you. Like, where is the APC? Where is the APC? When are you going to pay it? So like that is not, it should be all very, very transparent and clear from the publishers and the journal side. So these are signs of legitimacy, and you need to be really, really cautious while publishing a research with the right journal. Then step 4, based on these criteria which we have discussed, you yourself can make a criteria ranking. You can make a 10 out of 7. So it should be at least above 7 for any journal. I have given 10 criteria. Please make a ranking, and you can, it should be 10 on 10 is very good. If it is at least above 7 or above 8, it is, you can go for that. So then like you should also check the similarity of papers published. Make time to see last few issues. Because all abstracts are mostly available for everybody to read. You can check the abstracts, the quality of the abstracts, what kind of is only if the journal is only publishing articles or abstracts which are relevant to your research area continuously over the years. Because like I'm coming to a lot of interesting case studies later on. So I can tell you like why journals were removed from Scopus also. And like I'm just coming to those slides. But like these are pointers. So you have to make time before you are going to publish a paper to even see the quality and the similarity of papers to the research. And then rejections. So definitely like even if it is a journal which you think is only a peer-reviewed journal, not in Web of Science or Scopus, they might also reject your manuscript. So when you, now I'm coming to the step one. If you have a short list of journals, and as there was a question like, what is the turnaround time and should we be waiting? Can we publish at the same time to 2 journals? That is not the case. But like once you get your rejection, when you have your groundwork ready, you can immediately go to the next journal. I have given a ranking, but based on my experience, I have 20 years experience in publishing, how to identify a good academic journal other than Web of Science or Scopus. The journal should follow a double-blind review. It should have a prominent editorial board, low acceptance rate. The minimum acceptance rate should be 25 to 30%. It should be abstracted in leading databases such as EBSCOhost and Procust. It should have an ISSN and an EISSN so that it is available in both print and online formats. We should be able to view the current and past issue abstracts openly in the website. There should be a clear information on the author guidelines and the peer review process. There should be a digital object identifier or a DOI. Because once we have a DOI, which is issued by the DOI Foundation, and even Crossref assigns it to a lot of publishers, the article takes you only to see, there are few publishers who are faking DOIs also. They'll give DOI, but this DOI will not take you anywhere. So if it is the original DOI, it will take you to the paper of the publisher's site. And there should be a green open access to authors. Green open access to authors is even if you even if you assign the copyright to the journal, even if you have published your journal to the paper, you should not have a closed access to your research. You should have all the rights to own your article and post it in your institutional repository with the permission of the publisher and with the citation of the publisher. See, that is purely accepted. The publisher can ask you for the citation, but I do not agree with publishers asking for money during an embargo period of 12 months as high as 100 USD to download your own paper from you. That is not acceptable. So, and then finally, like I have put it in red color, no publishing fee is a contemplated statement for a good publisher or a predatory publisher, as you asked. It cannot be the reasoning behind calling a journal predatory. But a no publishing fee is definitely a sign of maturity of a publisher, where like, whom do you think the material you are going to publish belongs to? After the copyright, it belongs to the publisher. But you are the owner and you are the author of your content. The research belongs to you. So why should you pay to publish a research? So it is a question I'm leaving to the contemplation of the audience. I'm not discussing more on the publishing fee. So I'm continuing to the open access journals. So I'm just, we are going to move towards predatory, hijacked, cloned journals. I mean, journals which are actually cheating the researchers. So how open access journals came into the trend itself is, initially there were only society journals. Then it became publisher-led journals, and these journals were all subscription-based journals. So due to the high cost of subscription-based journals, and libraries were withdrawing subscriptions after 1995. So that was a time when PLOS and BMJ and all PLOS came into existence. They were the pioneers in open access journals. They were giving all the services. So actually open access journals came as a substitution for subscription-based journals to reduce the cost of publishing. But in either way, somebody has to bear the cost. It should be either the author or the institution after it is published. So like this model was an author paying model. That was what was an open access model. So open access model was a good model. It was considered to be a good model initially, but that led to a subset of journals called predatory journals, because it was an easy way. It was opening a new and easy way for publishers to get money from the authors, because there was always a restriction on the author to publish his paper, publish his research, and bringing to the academic community. So all open access journals are not predatory, but most predatory journals are open access. Predatory journals are definitely, not mostly, they are definitely open access. Okay. And then we have hijacked journals and cloned journals. I will tell what are hijacked. Hijacked journals are, hijacked journals and cloned journals came out of like, because like you have, let's say we have a reputable journal. Somebody wants to make money. They will exactly take the data of a original journal, which is in SCI or Scopus, and they will try to have a website of their own, put the same journal instead of and, they will put an ampersand symbol. They will duplicate the same ISSN. They will make you believe that they are an original journal. So that is a hijacked journal and a clone journal also. So we should say no to predatory journals and pseudoscience, because it is not contributing anything to research. See, even you can publish in a mediocre journal, but if it is a peer-reviewed journal, because it will add definitely some value to your profile and to the journal and to the academic community. Somebody will read it. But like, what is the point in doing? See, just like putting it in a raw form outside for people to read, it does not add value to your profile, not to the journal, not to anyone. So like we should say no to predatory journals and pseudoscience. So the final point is like, is publishing fee a new normal? There is an increasing number. See, even in subscription-based journals, where they belong to the, whether they are in Scopus or Web of Science, the publishing fees are exorbitant. That is also a negative trend or challenge in academic publishing, which I believe should not be. Like academicians and researchers worldwide should find a solution to fight against this. So I have given you few pointers. See, these links possibly, if you need, I can share it later on. I mean, whatever areas you need, you can just tell me, like I will share to Dr. Chitra Ponsalvan. So these are very important. You can, the blog.cabals.com predatory report criteria, they have 60 criteria, which you can go through to check whether a journal is predatory or not. Then there is a link called Think, Check and Submit. They have a video. It's only a 1-minute video. You can check that. And also, they also have criteria to know how a journal is classified as predatory or not. Then Retraction Watch has a list of hijacked journal checker. It is an Excel sheet. So if you are not sure, if you don't have the time to do this research by yourself, you can use these tools. Okay. And also, Amity University in India has come up with an app. It's a mobile app called Amity University Quality Journal app. And you can check cloned journals there. So the original name of the journal, original ISSN, and the clone journal is available there. You like all this. So the difference between a reputable and predatory journal. A reputable journals will follow all the norms, what we have discussed, on the integrity level or the legitimate level. They will follow, or it will be very transparent. You can anytime talk to the staff of the publishing company regarding your concerns. They will, even if it is a retraction or rejection, anything will be very, very transparent, communicated by the mail. And also, even with the communication, you can find out whether it is predatory. A good publisher will not write in a bad language. Bad language in the sense, you will see the quality of the writing in their emails. So if you are getting some with very highly salutations and like very grammatical, so much of grammatical errors, you need to really be cautious. They might invite you to publish the papers with you, but you need to be really cautious in finding about that journal. And second, so these first is false information. So predatory journals provide falsified information about the readership, importance, and association of the journal. 2, misleading metrics. They will not be in Google Scholar or they will not be in Scopus, but they will say that we are in Scopus, we are in SCI, and they will give you a false editorial board and content. So third one is hijacking. Some predatory journals create a very similar looking website or use the same branding of a reputable journal to trick authors into paying and publishing with them. So this type of predatory journal is known as a hijacked or an imposter journal. So imposing to be someone else who is prominent and popular. And cloning. Cloning journal, a cloned journal uses the same title as a reputed journal and shows the same international standard serial number on its website. It is like cloning, like a sibling. It will try to look similar to it. So then deception. Predatory journals may steal the intellectual property through deception, engage in fraudulent fake peer review, or even accept papers without review. They don't need anything. You just give your paper today. Within the 1 hour, they will publish a paper, or within the same day, they will publish a paper, or they will tell in 2 days, we will publish a paper. And motive, the ulterior motive of a predatory journal is only making money. But academic publishing does not work that way. There are people who work on journals for the purpose of research to advance science and humanity, to make the research touch humanity in some way. So there is a definite classification you can see among predatory journals and reputable journals. And this is something, a point with most predatory journals websites are very, very, very flashy. You will have stars throwing up like flashing everywhere on their website, telling impact factor is this much, this is this much, and all that, but none of these claims are. So it is a very, very, very simple indicator, like which I'm telling here. So again, ways to identify predatory journals. They promise fast publication. Their website targets potential authors, that they do not have clear policies, their copyright issues are not clear. They charge a publishing fee. They might not charge a huge publishing fee. So here they will charge a 3,000 or 5,000, or it might be a 100. If it is a Western predatory journal, they might charge 100 USD, 200 USD, but they will charge something because their ulterior motive is making money. And the preservation of content is not clear. You will see this journal for some time. Then after a few years, after making their money, the website will not be there at all. So what happens to all your research? Then non-relevance, the scope is not very clear. They will publish anything. In an engineering journal, you might find papers on something else also. And lack of editorial standards. The website itself will have a lot of spelling and grammar missing. So these are easy indicators for you to find out a predatory journal. So other concerns in academic publishing are, in recent times, if you are a seasoned researcher, you would have seen there are a lot of retractions happening around Elsevier, Wiley, Springer. Have you noticed these retractions? Why is it happening? It is all these journals were indexed in Scopus and Web of Science. They were Q1 journals. And why retractions were happening? And that too in huge numbers. IEEE retracted 800 papers. Springer retracted 400 papers. Elsevier retracted so many papers. So I will tell you the reason. Because some journal will get into the Scopus or Web of Science. They will be there for quite some time. And then they have a conference tie-up with the university. Now, the responsibility of reviewing shifts to the convener or the conference people, not the publisher. So these the people who are coordinating the conference will accept anything for the sake of money and add to the pseudo literature which is available even in a reputed journal. So like it will not come to the notice of the publisher immediately. But like when few researchers go through that, they see some unnecessary gibberish language in their papers, then it comes to the notice of the publisher also. Then they try to save the reputation. They have to retract it in huge numbers. So along with that retraction and along with the removal in Scopus, a good researcher will also be punished. So the publisher can't do anything here. So predatory journal citations, there was a recent paper published in Scientometrics, which claims there are 300 predatory journals in Scopus, which is also adding to the scientific literature and contributing to the references from Scopus. Then exorbitant article publishing charges. It is ranging from 300 to 11,000 USDs for publishing one single paper. So that is, this is something that the academic world should come and fight against. Then there are something called sale of authorship. You don't have to do anything. You just give money. You can get your part as author number 7 or 8. It is all over the internet. You can see sale for authorship in Facebook, Instagram, any social media. You just have to give money, but there are fake ones also, there are genuine ones also. But like these are all very, very cheap practices in academic publishing, which as a researcher, you should not go for, because this will not stand in the long run in any way. Like life is a great level player. If you know, like if you start small also, you will reach the top of the world if you have the right integrity and the honesty in you, and don't go by any means for any cheap activities in academic publishing. Because the reason is research is something, don't take it seriously, because don't take it very lightly. Don't take it, just link it to your promotions or your individual benefits. If you're doing research in some area, it is going to impact humanity on a global level. Like it might impact climate change, it might impact health, it might impact a lot of policy factors of the government and the industry. So we should be very, very careful as researchers. We have a moral responsibility towards the society. So that is why we should not do all this. And archival freedom, the limited readability and the life cycle of the article. So there is a general trend that 90% of the articles published are read only by the authors and the journal editors, which is a very sad state. Like all your hard work is not recognized. So when people, the publisher should be working in some way on a global level that the articles are being read by. That is why the altmetrics also comes into a major play. Then archival freedom should rest with the author to have a green open access, as I explained earlier. Then please ensure that the journal is continuous in publication for at least minimum of 5 to 10 years. So then the publisher is kind of a serious publisher. You can definitely publish with them, because like if the history counts, and if they are in continuous publication, they are going to be there for quite a long time. And audience engagement. So how should publisher engage, make your research, take it to the audience? Because there are content recommender systems, like similar to what we see in Netflix. When you watch a movie, it will talk about, you can also watch this. If you go to Amazon, it will tell about, you can also buy this. So same way in academic publishing, there is a tool called TrendMD. It is an innovation that we are also using and many major publishers are using. So like if there's an article on educational technology, that would be recommended in some other journal which has published a similar paper. So this improves cross-content citations as well as readership. So as publishers, we are also working on innovative ways to make your research popular. Yeah. It is needed, because like we feel like the researcher should have a fair chance of somebody reading that. It should not end with the author and the editor alone. So the other concerns in academic publishing are the credibility. Like so far, like we were talking about, we are thinking that all Web of Science and Scopus Index journals are good journals. But there is a study, predatory open access journals are indexed in reputable databases, a revisiting issue or an unsolved problem. And the above statement is from the paper. I have taken the exact words. The credibility and reliability of citation databases such as PubMed, PubMed Central, Medline, Scopus, and Web of Science, which we depend on as trustworthy research references, are now being called in question. Citation repositories are riddled with poor quality publications. So it is, the responsibility is more on the researchers now. The onus is on the researchers to identify the good journals, even if they are in Scopus or Web of Science. So recent examples of, I'm coming to some very interesting case studies. Recent examples of predatory journals that were included in Scopus and Web of Science and later removed include, I have taken 2 journals. One was a journal of positive social psychology, positive school psychology. It had an enormous increase in papers published over a short period of time. And the Arabian Journal of Geosciences. So this was like the Springer Nature had to retract 400 papers due to concern of gibberish paper. So 2 very huge furor issues which happened in Twitter, and it created very ripples among the academic community. Sorry. 1, the case of Journal of Positive School Psychology. Can you see the graph? The first one is at 34. You are able to see that, right? See how it has shot up. So the Journal of Positive School Psychology significantly increased the number of papers it published in 2022. after it was included in Scopus. It's interesting to see how the number of papers declined after it was removed from Scopus. So, and they also published papers which were not relevant to their field. We could see some totally irrelevant papers there. I mean, it was all shared in Twitter. I didn't take that pictures, but like just to give you an indicator of how, even if a journal in Scopus, a journal which you should avoid. One indicator is this. Second, this is very interesting. Just read the titles if you are able to read. I'll read few for you. Analysis of Spawn City water pollution characteristics and urban music emotional expression. Do they have any relevance? Sea level height based on big data of Internet of Things and aerobics teaching. Analysis of mountain rock structure and athletes jogging action. So it was all products of paper mills. Just, it was in Springer, it was a Q1 journal, it was in Scopus and Web of Science. So then they had to retract this journal, and the journal was also subsequently removed. So the other concerns, still there are potentially possible predatory journals in Scopus. They have, a researcher has recently published an article. I have given the DOI, that is, the article name is Prevalence of Potentially Predatory Publishing in Scopus on the country level. And that is the DOI. And there is a table, it's a huge table. And I have tentatively take the numbers from there. It is 239 journals with publication concerns and 193 active potentially predatory journals. And there are inactive potential predatory journals are 101. But there were some difference between this table and the table 8 listed in the study. I'll just share all these links to you so that you can check for your future action. So coming to the end of my long talk, preferably, I think, like, have I taken more time? Like, so yeah. So like, I was just wondering, since I was addressing to Curtin University students and staff today, I went through the Curtin University's research policy, like what they are telling you to publish and in what way. So academic freedom, they mention an academic staff member may speak, write, or publish. Let's take publish alone. An academic staff member may publish without being subject to institutional censorship or discipline in accordance with the academic freedom and freedom of speech policy. The research output expected is peer-reviewed work. So I mean, I would be very glad if you all take this lecture very seriously and look into this, take it as an action point for your future research. Even if it is not immediate, it might be in the future.
Ms. Renisha, you can.
About the organization I'm representing, I am manager publications. We've been in the academic publishing field for the past 20 years. We have 38 peer-reviewed journals. We have so far published around 7,000 plus research articles. We have 10,000 plus academic subscriptions, 5,500 plus international academic subscriptions. We've been indexed in more than 20 academic databases. We are available in world's leading libraries. In fact, we are also available in Curtin University's library as a e-resource. 6 of our journals are available in Curtin University. Articles published have been suggested for recommended reading in leading institutions. Recommended reading is our articles have been suggested as a additional lecture reading in many universities, including universities such as Harvard and others. I'm very glad and share these details with you. And please feel to join us in LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and all our social media pages, particularly the young crowd. You will learn a lot from us.